Minutes et voilà le président Biya que vous pouvez voir qui lève la main d'ailleurs pour saluer ses compatriotes dans un strict costume de couleur sombre et à côté avec des couleurs chatoyantes. C'est la première dame qui est assise donc à ses côtés. Voilà le président de la République. C'est l'image qu'on a souhaité avoir. Eh bien, on vous a dit, le président Biya n'est pas un adepte de la spectacularisation. Il n'est pas un adepte du spectacle. Mais je crois que cette image à elle seule renseigne sur la réalité ici à Simalène. Le cortège présidentiel qui va donc s'ébranler, qui quitte l'aéroport, eh bien, tiré par qu'il soit pour ou contre la politique du chef de l'État, Paul Biya, qui lui-même...
Welcome to this channel, and today we are going to be talking about Paul Biya, our grandfather. Yes, our grandfather is back. Yeah, our grandfather is back. Paul Biya, after leaving Cameroon for about 74 days, just returned on the 20th of August. Paul Biya left Cameroon for a brief. In the communique, it stated that he was going for a brief vacation, a brief holiday. And the brief ended in 74 days, 3.5 months. That is how much Paul Biya spent in Switzerland, Geneva. So he basically carried the capital, Yaoundé, from Cameroon to Switzerland. Come on, guys, let's be serious. African leaders, I don't understand. What would make... Look, in some countries, when the president leaves for 3 days, you will go and find petitions at the Supreme Court asking for the seat to be declared vacant. But in Cameroon, this doesn't happen. This is the president who won elections, who killed a lot of his citizens to retain a seat. At 94, Paul Biya still wants to cringe on the presidency of Cameroon. And no one can say anything. So yeah, guys, Paul Biya landed at 4 p.m. On the 20th of August in Cameroon. And you know, after he left, there were rumors about succession. So people were saying that he was going to put his son as a vice president and all that. But you know, before Paul Biya left in April, Paul Biya tasked the House of Assemblies to enact a law, to practically bring back a law that Cameroon abandoned since the 1980s. When he was very strong, he removed the law. And so he was the only person running the affairs of the state. But you know, in April, just before he left, he made the House of Assembly to pass the law, to bring back the law of the vice president. And you know what? It's very interesting. So the law was passed and it was voted in support, about 200 against 18. So 200 people voted yes, 18 voted no, and I think like 4 people abstained. And in this law, they indicated that the president will be the one to appoint the vice president. Paul Biya will be the one to appoint the vice president, and he will be the one to dictate to the vice president their roles, or his or her roles, what the vice president is supposed to do. The president will dictate, right? And the president will fire the vice presidents as and when he wills. So let's ask ourselves, or we should be asking ourselves, why did Paul Biya pass the law when he was just leaving? Of course, this was a medical vacation, but they said he was just going on for a brief break, which lasted for 74 days. So let's ask ourselves, why did they pass that law? Why did he bring back the law before he left? Your guess is as good as mine. All right, so after they passed this law, a vice president wasn't appointed, and Paul Biya left. And remember, when Paul Biya was voted into power in December, when he gave the end of year speech, he said he was going to formulate his government within 1 month, and he never formed a government. So basically, the cabinet that is running Cameroon now is the cabinet that was formed in 2019. 2019, that is still the old cabinet that is running Cameroon now. So Paul Biya went and to relax in Geneva. No voice, nothing. But he was running the government of Cameroon from Geneva. He passed laws, he made decrees, he made promotions in the army and all this. Even recently, there were rumors that there was going to be a coup and this and this and that. But I mean, they downed it down. And now, while he was away, the opposition raised a concern to make a point that the seat of government should be declared vacant. And they clapped back. They told them no. The seat was not vacant. The president was running the government from Geneva. He made laws, he made promotions and all this. He promoted army generals and so many things. And he also made some appointments. So currently, Cameroon is supposed to have a vice president, but they don't have a vice president because the president hasn't appointed yet. And you know, according to this law, when the president dies or resigns or the president becomes incapacitated, he cannot hold the seat again, the vice president automatically takes over. So let me bring you up to speed, right? So in the past, before April, right, if the president of Cameroon died, he resigns or becomes incapacitated, the president of the House of Assemblies automatically takes over. And this president of House of Assemblies is supposed to organize elections between 20 and 120 days. So basically, within 4 months, they're supposed to organize elections. But then before Paul Biya left, that's why I was saying that your guess is as good as mine. Looking at his condition, his age, Paul Biya was thinking about, okay, what if I go and I don't come back? What if I go and I don't come back? So it means that my family will be taken away. My family will not get to inherit the presidency. So basically, he made them to enact a law that he is supposed to appoint and disappoint a vice president and assign their roles to them. So after passing the law, he didn't appoint, he left. So basically what this man was thinking of is that while he is in Geneva, if his health condition becomes critical and he cannot come back, he will quickly give a voice, right? He will send a voice by appointing a vice president before so that's what happened. So finally, he landed. He was able to make it and he landed in Yaoundé. And if you saw the people, you see, Cameroonians, I know we love our presidents and all this Africa. Yes, I understand. But Paul Biya is not the typical president you should love that much. Look, this man, we are not saying he has done his part, right? The man is old. He can't do anything. Even his presence in Cameroon doesn't change anything. His presence in Cameroon doesn't change anything. People still run the government on his behalf. The man can barely stand. He can barely walk. He can barely speak. We have teeming youth, very vibrant, energetic youth who can run the presidency. Why is it like this? Even if he wants to give it to his son, fine, he should give it to his son. But let someone who is up to date, okay, whose level of thinking is up to date, to hand. The world has evolved a lot. 1982 up to now, 40 how many years? 43. And he's still running it. Africa will have to be... Look, when you say it, the Cameroonians will come and attack you. But then, as I said, we love our president. We know you love him. But let's call a spade a spade. Let him go and take a rest. Let someone take over. Cameroon is one interesting country, you know. No matter what, even if Paul Biya's tenure ends today and he still stands for election, they will vote for him. And people will still die. What do we want? And we are complaining of bad roads, Cameroon. Bad roads. Just recently, there was an accident and about 16 people died. A trailer collided with a bus. Okay? Terrorism, hardship, unemployment, and all this, yet, so it's so pathetic. Now let's watch the moment Paul Biya landed in Yaoundé. And you know what? The media was able to organize. They were able to organize the media, several media houses, over 70 media houses, to cover his arrival. And you know what he did? They didn't see his face. He was just in the car and waving his hand. They only saw his palm. That's all. And people, if you saw the people on the street to welcome Paul Biya, it was just mind-boggling. We know you love your president, but let's call a spade a spade. This man is not fit enough to sit on this presidency again. What kind of greed are African leaders portraying? Now, let's take a look at what his arrival.
Et voilà le président Biya, que vous pouvez voir qui lève la main d'ailleurs pour saluer ses compatriotes dans un strict costume de couleur sombre et à côté avec des couleurs chatoyantes. C'est la première dame qui est assise donc à ses côtés. Voilà, le président de la République, c'est l'image qu'on a souhaité avoir. Eh bien, on vous a dit, le président Biya n'est pas un adepte de la spectacularisation, n'est pas un adepte du spectacle, mais je crois que cette image à elle seule renseigne sur la réalité ici à Simalène. Le cortège présidentiel qui va donc s'ébranler, qui quitte l'aéroport, eh bien, tiré par qu'il soit pour ou contre la politique du chef de l'État, Paul Biya, qui lui-même est pour la contradiction, il est pour la critique, il est donc normal.
So look at it. As you can see, motorcade, all this, I mean, look at the convoy. African leaders, I don't understand why this convoy, why? If you rule the country very well, I mean, if you govern the country well and the people are satisfied and they love you, you should be able to come out and walk on the street alone without a bodyguard and nothing will happen to you. I'm telling you. So all this while that Paul Biya was away, right? All this while that he was away, the opposition made lots of noise, I mean, about his absence and why seats should be declared vacant and all these things. But you know, all the ministers, the old ministers, I mean, that's the ministers from the cabinet he had, the old cabinet, right? Yes, they all came out defending, because you know why? Paul Biya still appoints at this age. Now, Paul Biya appoints his what do you call it? His cabinet based on loyalty, respect, obedience, and ultimately silence. So, see the wrong, say nothing, and you will be in the good books of Paul Biya. And that is how he appoints it. So all the ministers, the Senate, and everybody were defending him in his absence. Africa will need to sit up. Look at Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore just came, and look at the wonders he is doing in Burkina Faso, which you cannot even compare with any of the African countries. The achievements he has made. Look, Ghana, for instance, the president of Ghana wanted to construct an express road from Accra to Kumasi, because the road that is there now, so many accidents on this road because it is not dualized. And so the government thought it wise that they should construct an express road, right, which should be tolled. And it was sent to Parliament. If you see how long it took there, and then the back and forth, it should be done, it shouldn't be done, look at this. Ibrahim Traore used 2 months to decide on an express road, and they started constructing it, and they are almost done. We are not saying that African countries should go, should encourage coup and all these things, or military governance and all these things. But it is not bad. The military governance is not bad. It is serving Burkinabes very well. And yet African countries, other African presidents are struggling. So it's so sad. And look, if you look at the people that came out to support him, we know you love, as I said. But then, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. The man is old and he can't do anything again. Only sitting in the car and waving his hand. Let's watch it. Interesting, right? Interesting. Who cares us, Africans? Who cares us? Now look at what is happening. European Union now is cancelling Africans. They are cancelling Africans, and they are even threatening the Caribbeans that if they keep giving Africans citizenship, okay, they are going to stop their visa-free travel to Europe. So look at Europeans who come to our country, come and mine our gold, exploit our resources and take it back to develop their countries. Now saying they don't want us to travel to their countries. And yes, African leaders still sit down dumb and watch all these things happen. And still we continue signing contracts with European companies to exploit our gold. And look at what happened. I was just watching a video about Eritrea. That there is a break, there is a what happened? A gold mine collapsed and about 107 people died. Are we the people digging the gold? These people are just there to, let me say, take the remains after the extraction of the gold, to take the to struggle to get something small to eat. And yet these people, after destroying the land, they will not reclaim the land. There's no land reclamation, nothing. They will not repair the land. They will leave it and move to a different place. And then when our people go there, the pits collapse on them and they die. Of course, African leaders, I don't know what they think, but guys, we need to sit up. Women can take an injection and will not have a baby for 2 years. Go to France. Many of these European countries, go to France. They have increased maternal leave and they have increased leave so that women can get pregnant. They want to decrease the working hours of women so that they can spend more time with their husbands or their families so that they can have more children. And yet, they are running all these programs to reduce the population of Africa. And African presidents accept it. William Ruto. They accept them to come and run these pilots in their countries. So guys, I don't know. Paul Biya, I don't know what Cameroonians are doing about Paul Biya, but seriously, that man, he shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be there at all. I mean, we don't hate him, but he shouldn't be there. He's long overdue. He needs to find a way. He should appoint a vice president and hand over to him and go and take a rest. That's all. Yes, because it's crazy. If you think about all these things, you get headache. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And yet we get up and we blame other people. We give the contracts to them, we sign the contract, we give it to them, and then we take the money and pocket. Look, these politicians don't think of us. They don't think of the ordinary citizen. When you talk about these politicians like this, your fellow youth will come out in the internet and attack you. Our colleagues will come out and attack you. When a leader is arrested of corruption, they come out and they defend. So what do we want? Do we want to continue dying in the Mediterranean Sea? Do we want to continue dying in the desert, trying to cross to Europe? Yeah. So thank you very much for following us to this point. And please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please kindly subscribe and help to push the channel so we can do more. Thank you very much. And this is a Pan-African channel, and we will continue pointing to the facts about Africa. How can Africa grow? How do we push the continent to attain its status in the world stage? So let's keep pushing, and then subscribe and click on the bell notification, as I said, so we can get more people to watch and more subscribers. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.